Today's video will demonstrate how to use specificity, context, and hints to more effectively use AI prompts. Hello, I'm James Helfrich. We all use AI, but my question is how many of us get the most out of it? This video will demonstrate three components of a good prompt and show a couple examples of how they can drastically improve the quality of the output. So prompt engineering is the process of designing prompts to guide AI tools to produce specific outputs. It is a difference between occasionally getting lucky and consistently getting the help you need to get your job done. So let's take a look at the components of a good prompt. First of all, we need specificity, and this is the task that is to be completed and any interface or technologies to be used and constraints the solution must keep. The next component is context. This is all about the greater project or system that we are working with and other components that may interact with our piece. And finally, we have hints. This is examples of good solution and any clues we may have about how to complete this task. So let's demonstrate how specificity, context, and hints come to play. So we'll start with a naive prompt, and this is without specificity, context, or hints. I'm going to say explain the functionality of the provided code, and I give some examples of some physics formulas. Let's take a look at how AI will do with this. Okay, I have my prompt in the code. Let's see what the output is. Notice how this produces a very generic response because it doesn't really know what I'm looking for. So it's going to try to answer many different kinds of questions, including interpreting the code and trying to figure out the physics formula behind it and any other types of test cases. I didn't even ask for test cases. So basically, it's shooting with a machine gun, trying to hit something. Okay, the results aren't bad, but it's not exactly what we're looking for. So now we're going to add some specificity. We're going to tell AI exactly what we're trying to accomplish. So we're going to take the original one and then we're going to add, please generate text suitable for a code comment, which completely captures the functionality of the following code. This code comment should be one sentence, no longer than 75 characters. However, if it is impossible to fully capture the functionality in 75 characters, it is acceptable to use 2 lines and 150 characters. All right, let's see how this changes everything. Now with my original prompt, I'm going to add my specificity here. Okay, notice how it knew exactly what I was asking for. So now my response is very targeted. Okay, much better, but we can do better yet. Now we're going to add some context. Describe any project details that may be relevant. So we're going to add to this. This code is to be used in a video game simulating a spaceship moving through a two-dimensional maze. All the laws of physics are accurately modeled in this video game. Okay, let's see how this changes our prompt. Okay, so now I'm going to add my context. When I run the code, once again, I expect to get a comment, but it should be a little bit more on target with the specific problem I'm trying to solve. Perfect. Okay, finally, I'm going to add some hints. Share guidelines which may be relevant. So I'm going to add to this. Each comment needs to conform to the following criteria: complete sentences, initial capital and punctuation, both answer why questions and what questions, and finally, comments should clarify the intent of the code. Let's see how this changes our output. All right, now I'm going to add my hints and let's see what the results are. Notice with specificity, context, and hints, I get exactly what I need, a well-placed comment to describe exactly what that code does. Okay, let's do another example. This one's going to generate test cases. First, my naive prompt. I want to test my code to see if it computes overtime pay correctly. Let's try this prompt to see how it does. So I'll put my instructions into ChatGPT and see what the results are. Now notice without context, specificity, or hints, it really has no idea what I'm asking for. So it's going to answer a wide variety of different questions. It's going to go through and say, hey, here's my input and output. It does it in a bulleted list here, a numbered list. It's going to talk about the equation that I'm going to be following. It's going to state some edge cases. But once again, this is not really what I'm looking for. I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, and highly professional. But that's the deal with AI without specificity, is without knowing exactly what question to answer, it's going to answer lots of different questions. Okay, now I'm going to add some specificity. I'm going to tell AI exactly what we're trying to accomplish. Specifically, I have a function that takes minutes worked as a parameter and takes wages in cents as a parameter. Overtime is assumed to exist if we are more than 8 hours of work in a single day. Okay, now I'm going to add my specificity and let's see what it does. Okay, observe with specificity. It's now given the data in the format that my function expects, namely with cents and with minutes, not with hours and dollars. It's definitely better. However, it doesn't really take into account the context of my program. So I need to add context next. Okay, now I'm going to prompt with context. This function is written in Python. All error cases are reported as $0 pay. I need the test cases to be in the form of a series of asserts where the assertion will fire if the test case fails. Okay, now I have the data in the format that I need for my program. So now it's much, much better. But I've noticed it still missed a couple really important test cases for me. So now I need to do one more step. Okay, finally, let's add some hints. Make sure to test for negative wage, negative hours worked, and working more than 24 hours in a single day. Okay, so now I've added the three test cases I specifically need. I want to watch out for negative wages, negative hours worked, and more than 24 hours in a given day. Okay, perfect. Now I have exactly the format I need. I can seriously copy paste this directly into my code, and I'm ready to go. And you can see that with context specificity and hints, the quality of our output is much better, not because we made GBT smarter, but rather because we targeted it specifically to our specific needs. This is example 0.11.1 and 0.11.2 in the AI prompt engineering chapter of the software design textbook.